Circuit Zolder in Belgium for the EuroNASCAR Pro division that's coming up very shortly. But last time out, we were in Italy at Vallelunga, and it was a great battle for the lead of the race, with the number 24 Monster Energy car of Alan Day taking the lead. Then Jacques Villeneuve was able to pick his pocket. He went through to take up the lead and then sadly retired from the race. So it was ultimately Loris Hazemans that then took up the lead of the race and came through to grab the win from Alan Day and Gianmarco Ercoli. So Loris Hazemans, the reigning champion, on the top step of the podium for the first race of the year. In race number 2, though, it was a win for Gianmarco Ercoli, returning to victory lane for the first time since Brands Hatch 2018. Hazemans leads the championship by 3 points from Alan Day, who's just a point ahead of Lasse Sorensen coming into this weekend. Same format as ever. 2 championships, 4 races over the weekend. EuroNASCAR Pro for the pro drivers. Hazemans leads the way. EuroNASCAR 2 for the young and the amateur drivers, where Tobias Dannhauer is the leader. Well, Circuit Zolder is a 4-kilometre track, 2.5 miles, 16 corners, including those 3 chicanes to deal with. And we've also got 4 former winners that are on the grid here with us this weekend from Zolder. It's rainy out there. Round 3 of the championship coming up for EuroNASCAR Pro will be held over 18 laps very shortly. But in qualifying this morning, it was Lasse Sorensen, the reigning EuroNASCAR 2 champion, that qualified his 66 DF1 Racing Chevy on pole position. Let's hear from the pole sitter.
Yeah, it's obviously amazing to put pole position in the raining conditions. The car felt really good all the way from the beginning, and we had a good plan for the whole session. So it was about getting the fastest times in on the last couple of laps, and we managed to do that. So I'm super happy for the whole team, DF1 Racing, and also my sponsors. This one is the first one of many to come.
So rain continuing to fall in Belgium, very similar weather to we had for the 2019 Championship Finals. The EuroNASCAR Pro drivers on the grid. Let's guide you through it. Lasse Sorensen and Stinis Longines on the front row of the grid, with Jacques Villeneuve and Gianmarco Ercoli on row number 2. Francesco Sini and Mark Goossens, a former winner, on row number 3. And row number 4 of the grid is Alan Day, twice a former champion, who has already had 5 victories at this circuit, and Luigi Ferreira. Well, so much standing water out there. The first few laps have been done behind the safety car, but we're now about to go green for the first time in EuroNASCAR Pro. Buckle up, away we go. Good start from Lasse Sorensen. He's the only driver with a clear view ahead of him as well. Everybody else will have the windscreen wipers going and would be looking through the ball of spray up towards Erst, the first corner. Sorensen leads, Stinis Longines in second place, Jacques Villeneuve in third place. Number 54 is the Cal Racing car of Gianmarco Ercoli, who's there in 4th position. But just look at the spray that's being thrown into the air as these general tyres disperse the water on a very, very wet Circuit Zolder. Lasse Sorensen, the reigning EuroNASCAR 2 champion, has got Stinis Longines, a race winner at this equivalent race meeting last year, right alongside him, almost heading in towards a braking area for the cleaner chicane. The little chicane is the direct translation of it, and bounces over the curbs. Lasse Sorensen did do a couple of EuroNASCAR Pro races last year, but really concentrated on his championship aspirations and claiming that crown in EuroNASCAR 2. So stepping up to the top league for this year, and you can see just how difficult it is for the cars behind. Stinis Longines, look at the lack of visibility that he's got. All the water on the windscreen. There's no windows on these cars as well on the side window, so water gets in as well. The cars are warm, it can easily steam up, and they are having to drive these cars in these conditions with no traction control and no ABS. It's pure racing as Stinis Longines looks for the lead of the race, but can't quite make it in towards the braking area for Boulderberg booked. Accelerating our way down the straight, looking through that windscreen. It's impossible almost to see where you're going, let alone drive at the speeds that these guys are doing. But in EuroNASCAR Pro, Stinis Longines makes a mistake by the look of things. He's on the grass, heading in towards the Jackie Ick chicane, rotates the car through 180 and then 360 degrees, and that is going to drop him way, way down through the order. He's going to have to try and rejoin elsewhere around the circuit, and that has been a bit of a let-off for Lasse Sorensen, because not only now has he got a clear windscreen, he's got a bit of a gap behind himself and Jacques Villeneuve, who moves up into 2nd place. It's now going to be number 98, which is Mark Goossens, who is there in 3rd place. Goossens, a former winner of this race. He claimed victory in the 2nd of the 2 races in 2017. Splashing their way through the Villeneuve chicane. Lasse Sorensen looking as though he is trying to claim his first victory in EuroNASCAR Pro. Jacques Villeneuve under pressure from Mark Goossens for 2nd and 3rd place. Gianmarco Ercoli 4th. Alan Day's there in 5th place. Green flags in the background suggest that somebody's had an off at the preceding corner. Now Goossens is looking to try and propel the Cal Racing forward up the inside of Jacques Villeneuve's Feedvic machine, bounces over the curbs and goes through. Goossens up into second place. Jacques Villeneuve, the 1997 Formula 1 world champion, down into third. Former Indy 500 winner, of course. In towards the cleaner chicane. Now, Jacques Villeneuve is starting to drop away slightly from Mark Goossens, and I wouldn't rule out the fact that Gianmarco Ercoli, race winner at Vallelunga, might close in a little bit. You can see, though, that the standing water is just not disappearing. The rain is getting heavier and heavier, and even with the circulation of the cars, as soon as you see a little mark of a tyre where a car has been, it instantly disappears back into the shiny tarmac again. So the rain is falling so heavily, and you can see the distinct lack of visibility. We go on board with Alan Day in the PK Car Sport Monster Energy-backed Chevy in the hands of the two-times champion. Ercoli makes a mistake ahead. That allows Alan Day to squeeze his way through. Place gained for the Israeli, place lost for the Italian. A winner at his home NASCAR Grand Prix, of course, last time out. Ercoli just jinking out from behind Alan Day, way too far away. That's more just visibility more than anything. If you sit behind the car, all you're going to get is spray in the windshield. If you at least jink out to the side, you afford yourself a better view of where you need to be braking and what the car ahead is trying to do, rather than just looking at the spray that's being thrown at the windscreen. And it's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and this is all aiding Lasse Sorensen, who doesn't have any of the visibility issues in the lead car. Alan Day bouncing over the curbs, a circuit that's been really kind to him over the years, closing in on third place, which is Jacques Villeneuve, the Feedvic Racing team, new to the championship this year, set up by Jacques Villeneuve and Patrick Lemery. Both of them competing in this race. And now Jacques Villeneuve is going to have to look to see as to whether he can close the door on Alan Day. Just gets the door closed in time there, sweeps across the nose of the PK Car Sport machine, and that is slowing them up even more, and it's just allowing Mark Goossens in second place to get away in the lead of the race. Alan Day alongside Jacques Villeneuve. Has he got the job done? Yes, he has. Heading towards the cleaner chicane. Up to third place goes Alan Day. Down to fourth goes Jacques Villeneuve. None of this troubling Lasse Sorensen, who is a good 5 or so seconds up the road now. In towards the Villeneuve chicane, named after Jack's late father, sadly killed at that very corner back in the 1980s. But for Jacques Villeneuve, he is now off the podium spots, and he's going to want to try and see whether he can turn the tables on the double champion that's taken the place away. Stinis Longchin we ride on board with, trying to carve his way back through the order, having had that spin up at the Jackie chicane whilst fighting for the lead of the race. He's caught up with the runner-up of EuroNASCAR 2 from last year, Giorgio Maggi, who allows him to go through without too much trouble. So another place gained for Stinis Longchin at a circuit where he claimed a victory last year. So far it's his only victory in EuroNASCAR Pro, and that is a man who's got plenty of wins in EuroNASCAR 2. He was the EuroNASCAR 2 champion way back in 2016, but he's got lots and lots of work to do to make up for that mistake that befell him at the end of the lap, a few laps ago now. Working hard, though, bouncing his way over the curbs at the cleaner chicane, and is now looking to try and focus on catching the next of the cars, which is ahead, which he's already managed to do. That is Davide De Lara. Now, this is going to be for 11th and 12th positions. Davide De Lara just looking to try and grab the place. Stinis Longchin working hard to try and take it away from him. Davide De Lara still hanging on to it, the Italian driver. But the Belgian is coming and is up the inside by the look of things, heading in towards the Jackie chicane. Yet another place gained for Stinis Longchin. That now puts him up into 11th place in car number 11 in this race overall, following his problems a few laps ago. The weather conditions, the rain has just eased very slightly. Through and over the start-finish line goes our race leader. There's the gap back to second position, which is Mark Goossens, who's still there in second place, but he is getting caught. Alan Day is just starting to reel him in a little bit. Jacques Villeneuve is still there in fourth place. Gianmarco Ercoli in fifth place. And Tomo Ferrando, another former winner here back in 2019. He completes the top 6 currently at the wheel of the number 88 Cal Racing machine. But for Mark Goossens, he'll be watching his mirrors. He might not be able to see a great deal out of them, but the spotters will be telling him that at the moment, he's got a 2-times former champion, Alan Day, closing in all of the time. Well, there's Villeneuve. He sits there in 4th place. 5th place is Ercoli. As we go back to Mark Goossens, who now seems to have just dropped Alan Day a little bit. So maybe Alan Day just thinking, is it really worth it? 1 extra championship point with a long way to go in the championship, and he'll be doing the maths already, thinking, you know, I've had bad luck here at Zolder before. I want to ensure that I come away with some decent points over the course of what are very, very difficult conditions. But for Lasse Sorensen, he is on course for a victory by the look of things, because he is not under any trouble at all, is he? Nobody is anywhere near pressurising him. He continues to lead by about 5 seconds, the reigning EuroNASCAR 2 champion. And the big Dane, who is, 23 years of age, is looking as though he's been very much a fitting part of EuroNASCAR Pro for a good number of years, despite the fact it's going to be his first full season in it this year, having only done just a couple of races last year. Up towards the Jackie chicane, blue flags being waved, and that's for Loris Hazemans, who had an off in qualifying and is driving with a damaged wrist this weekend. So the reigning champion almost about to be lapped by the driver who is going to win this race. Through comes Lasse Sorensen. He claims the win from Mark Goossens in second place, and it is Alan Day who completes the top three. Villeneuve, Urquhart and Tomo Ferrando completing the top six. Francesco Sini, 7th on his 40th birthday here at Circuit Zolder. Heading towards victory lane, Lasse Sorensen for the first time is a winner in EuroNASCAR Pro.
Yeah, it was crazy weather today. I mean, it was all about, on the first couple of laps, it was all about staying safe and getting through the first couple of laps. And I think we did that well. The car was good, so thanks to DF1 Racing for that. And also my sponsors cheering me all the way back home. This one was a hard race, and I'm so happy that I can win like a race like this, because this race really requires that you have, big, yeah.
So the podium celebrations underway for the first EuroNASCAR Pro race of the weekend here at Circuit Zolder. Lasse Sorensen on the top step of the podium. In the junior trophy for drivers under 25, Lasse Sorensen also claimed the winning act from Gianmarco Urquhart and Tomo Ferrando. And in the challenger trophy, Martin Tupek came out on top from Davide Dallara and Mauro Trione.